Hello guys, still win cards, again with another video, and this time let's see what are the screaming buys and what are the cards that are climbing in price, and that we can see that maybe they are in the last window for you to purchase them at an affordable price. So these cards are in the perfect spot for now to you to get them for affordable prices, just before they jump in price. The cards that you'll see here, just because I want to talk the talk and walk the walk, I already purchased them. So I know that if they go up, I'm in for profit. If they don't go up, I at least have a copy to my binder, and I can just save those cards for the day that when they come up. But right now, in the type of market that we are, I do think this is the best opportunity. Okay? So, let's see which cards I do have here. Starting with Silver Tempest, we have Blaziken VMAX. And you can get these cards as cheap as like 14, 15, let's say 17 to 18 shipped to you. Right now, I think it's a fair price for the market that we have. And pay close attention to this. The price is climbing, as we can see over here, and there is only 127 available. And that looks even more scary. Well, it's not scary, but it's more in your face, this type of information, when you actually scroll down and see how little is available. Okay, so for this one, I do think that is the last opportunity. Okay, so if you want to just have a copy to your binder, if you don't have these cards, I say that your best option is now. And one thing that you can do that I do think that is very, very helpful, go to Facebook, search for groups in your area or in your country, and try to make deals there. Because usually people are more open to negotiate over there. They will usually use Card Market as a reference, but you can negotiate between these prices over here. And since it is in your country, probably shipping will be a little bit more cheap, and you can have this card right now for an affordable price. Because in about 1 week or two, we will only have the more expensive ones, okay? So this is the first example, Blaziken VMAX from Silver Tempest. Next, it's Blaziken V. So it's exactly the same thing. As you can see, very, very little available. Card is climbing in price. Maybe we cannot see it right here, but you can see there is very little available. And yeah, the card, it's an obvious play because it's a starter. The card looks really cool. There is little available. The price trend, as you can see, is climbing in price, and this one might have been a copy that was purchased in the wrong time. Can I say that? But yeah, you can see that this card for sure will keep rising in value. And keep in mind, some of these plays can fail. And I'm totally honest with you. These plays can fail, but in the moment that we are right now, and as things are unfolding, I do think that we are more in a secure spot than not. But as I mentioned before in my previous videos, make a budget. you might not be able to make a play or add these cards right away to your binder, but make a budget. What are you willing to use in cards, and how many you would like to purchase, and make a priority. Maybe you prefer Blaziken V instead of Blaziken VMAX. Maybe you want cheaper cards than this one, and instead of getting Blaziken V, you can get two a little bit cheaper from a different illustration. So make conscious decisions, and keep in mind that it's up to you to decide what do you want to use your money. But yeah, Blaziken is another one that I think it's the last opportunity that you have to get. Also, moving a little bit forward, this one is quite obvious, and I do think that this one is more on the expensive side. It was cheaper. I remember like 2-3 months ago, I got a copy of this card for like, I would say like 14, 12 euros. And right now I have one copy that I think it arrived today, and there are 1 or 2 more to come. And I paid a little bit less than this. I would say around 20. I'm not sure if it was this one or VMAX. I think it's one of these and 2 from the VMAX. But either way, I do think this is the last opportunity as well. Once again, as I said before, try to search in your local groups. Facebook is an ideal place for that. And try to see if you can get still between these price range, because this card, once again, available items very low, will for sure keep climbing in price. There are a load of other options in the Sword and Shield era, but for now we will move to the Scarlet and Violet era, and I will focus more on the first sets of this era, but there is place to make everywhere. And even though the Pokemon Company said that they would reprint the more recent sets, and that's why also the older sets from this era are rising in value, I don't expect that to happen soon, and that's why we are also seeing this type of buyouts and things rising in price very fast. Imagine, let's quote Shrek here, and imagine that you have a onion. As you peel one layer, you'll have another layer, and another layer, and another layer. So what do I meant by saying that? When you peel the first layer, you are removing from the market and rising the price of the first and biggest chase cards of those sets. And when plays are made with those cards, they will shoot up in price, and then people will realize, okay, what's the next best thing that I can do? And they will move to the next ones. And then they will remove that layer, and then we will see moves in other cards. And that's what we are seeing right now in all across the board. Here, for example, Sandile. It's a cool illustration. To me, it's one of my favorite illustrations in this particular set. But if we go and see, for example, Riolu, Ralts, Gardevoir, Kirlia, those cards were jumping in price very fast. And they were in the first layer, let's say. And now we are seeing the second and third layer getting eaten up. That's why this one, I also think it's a very good play right now. And as you can see, there is very little available. So for 5 to 6 euros shipped to you, you can have this card right now. And I will show you at the end an example of what I mean by saying this. But for now, bear with me. And I will show you which cards I do think are in the last week before they get very, very expensive. Next, we have Dondozo. Once again, very low available items. And as you can see, very little available. Very, very little. So this is another one. So right now I will be moving a little bit faster. I will just show you the cards, show you the data, and also bear in mind that what I'm showing you is not focused on my feelings and what I think that will or has the potential to shot up in value. I'm clearly pointing towards what data shows me and how much I do see available, and what that means is that they will rise in price. So Starly, it's another one. If you don't have it, please, it's your time now. Moving into Paradox Rift, we have Mi and Chao. Another really cool illustration. As you can see, very, very little available. You still can get it for an affordable price. This one is... Oh, okay, so I made a mistake. These next two are still from Scarlet and Violet. Mi and Chao was out of place, but that's okay. This is another one. And remember another thing. There is the evolution line of this card. I think it's Darpan. It's rising up in price. And if you can have a copy that goes with that one, the more the better. Because you can grade, for example, you can grade both together as a sequential PSA 10. And that's a very nice play as well. But as you can see, this one also really low. And still very, very, very affordable. So once again, available items very low. Still on Scarlet and Violet. Pachirisu, the same thing. Maybe this one has a little bit more, but not much more. And as you can see, last chance. So now, yes, now we are moving into another set, and this one is Paldi Evolved, and with Crocalor. So the starters are very obvious plays, but this one is already climbing in price. And I do think it's a good play. Fletchinder as well. And this one is probably the ones that are more close to be less than 100 available are the first ones to really shot up in price. And what you will see is that probably what you'll have in 1 week available is around these values. Or even more. And I will show you an example, but let's move forward. Paldean Hooper. This one, it's very interesting because it's still a little bit above 200 available, but it's rising in price so fast. So, and the same as the others. As you can see, very little available. Then we have Tinkatink. Yes, it's Tinkatink. The same thing, and once again, another affordable buy right now. Probably in 1 week or two, not so much. As well as Tinkatuff. This one probably, and as you can see, less than 100 available. It's already climbing up in price. In the next week, probably what you will see available are these ones. So right now, it's the best time to purchase that card. Bramblin as well. As you can see, very little available. Floragato, the same thing. Polyevolve Steel and Pyrowar. I got this card for 6 to 7 euros. And as you can see, basically I already made my money. I could sell it for 9. I think I actually sold one for 9 this week or the week before. And I'm not sure if I still have one copy left, but my priorities are usually when I see situations like this, I will just try to get one copy to my binder so that I at least have the card in my collection. And if I have some extra money that I made by selling other cards, I will purchase more copies so I can have and I can realize profits in the future. So next one is Boss's Orders from Getsis. I do think that this card will shot up in price, very similar to Giovanni's Charisma. Remember that I might be mistaken, but I'm quite sure that Getsis is the villain in the Generation 5 with N. So Journey Together is coming. That's a hint, I guess. I already got this copy for 12 euros. And I do think that this card will rise up in price. We still have some available, but as you can see, the price points are a little bit higher. So right now, it's time to get these cards. Next, we have PGO2. Here, still many available items, but as you can see, and sometimes this can be misleading because it might mean that there is a lot of Italian cards, French cards, German cards, Portuguese cards. So bear in mind that you still have to check and to see, filter by language and see what is really available. Minior, I already got 2 cards. I'm lying. I got 3 cards. 2 arrived today, and I had 1 from last week that I added to my binder, so I don't plan on purchasing more. I think that each card was like 7 euros it was the cost for every single one, and as you can see, this card will likely shot up in price. It's already climbing, so yeah, that's it. Then Paradox Rift Apom, it's another one. This one is a really cool card, and it's one of my favorite cards because it's made by the illustrator Yuka Mori. It's one of my favorite illustrators, and it's a really cool card. Then we have Porygon Z, also another one that will likely shot up in price in the next week or 2. We have Drampa as well. The same thing, so it's the same scenario for every card. You can see clearly with the information that we have available. Grottle is another one. This one quite obvious, even less cards available, so less time to get that. This one just shot up in price. I got 4 copies for 9.50 each one, and as you can see, I just purchased them this weekend, and yeah, someone has 33 copies for basically 15 euros. So yeah, that's it. If you want to get this card for still a little bit cheap, I think that the time is now. And even if the Pokemon Company reprints this set, that is not enough to lower these prices, at least for now. So yeah, let's move to the next one. Is Pumpy, and the same scenario that we have seen before. And to show you what really will happen, you will see with this next card. It's Chatot. Really cool cards. I do think it's a clever illustration, but it's not first tier. It's not the first layer of our onion. But as you can see, this card was like 5 to 6 euros. And right now, the less expensive one is 17. So what happened is that available items were dwindling. I purchased 2 copies of this card, one from my binder and one to eventually sell. And they were each one 5 euros. Because I took into account that the available items were low, I saw that the price ranges were a little bit higher, and right now, this is the scenario. And this is what will happen with the other cards that I showed you before. It doesn't mean that the card is worth this much. And what will likely happen for the next 1 to 2 weeks is that people will not be able to sell right away the cards for this value, and new people will come with a little bit lower offers, and then is what will stabilize the value of the cards. So let's say that in 2-3 days we will see this card for 16 and then for 15, but the card will never go back to 5 euros. Okay, so it will retrace. Blah. I'm stumbling a little bit. I'm sorry for that, but it is what it is. I'm trying to improve my English as well, but I think you can understand me. So this card, as I was saying, will retrace for sure, probably, but I do think it will retrace, and we will see likely this card at 13, 15, or maybe 10. But that will be the new low point for this card. You won't see it cheaper than that, probably. And that's what I want you to keep in mind. I don't think this is a good price to go in. If you really want to have this card, this is the price that is available right now. Try to see in your local stores, try to check in your Facebook groups, try to check on Instagram if you can find it a little bit cheaper. But for now, this is the new lowest price for this card. So if you want to avoid this same scenario for the other cards that I showed you before, now is the time. Remember to make a budget, don't expend too much. Try to be selective. Which cards do you really want to your binder? Which cards do you want to invest in? And then move from there. I hope this video gave you some hints of what is to come. I hope you enjoyed. If you have already purchased some of these cards, if you already have in your binder those cards, please let me know in the comments. And if you are going to purchase any one of them, please let me know as well. I would like to see what you have in mind. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe, comment and like, and bye bye. See you soon.